Hi all, welcome to today's class. So already we have started this sectors of Indian economy. So economic part. So chapter 2 after development chapter we have sectors of Indian economy. In previous class we have discussed about the what is the economy, then what is the economic activities and what are the primary sectors we already discussed. So what is economy, Nana? Economy is a system in which people produce goods. Okay, people produce goods and services, distribute the goods and services, exchange it, and finally consume goods and services by people to satisfy their needs and wants. So economy is a system in which people are producing goods and distributing goods and services. Finally, it leads to consumption for the human being. So human beings satisfy their needs. Already we have discussed what are the farmer grow crops, etc., etc. And what are the components of economy? Production, distribution, and consumption. Already we have discussed this. Just I am recapping it. So then, economic activity. Economic activity performed by human being. So different economic activities performed by human beings. So human being perform different economic activities like farming. Okay, farming, teaching. Okay, then what are the construction workers? Okay, so we have banking, teaching, IT, so tourism, retail sectors, shops, everyone is performing their own economic activities. So these are all different economic activities. Already we discussed it. Then economic activities like farming, teaching, manufacturing, banking, transport, trade, construction, healthcare, IT services, tourism, all these are considered as economic activities. So human being involving different economic activities. So these economic activities we primarily classified into three sectors: primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. So this farming coming under the primary sector, the teaching coming under the which sector? Service sector. The manufacturing sector coming under secondary sector. The banking sector coming under the which sector? Service sector. Transport, service sector. Trade, service sector. Construction, manufacturing sector. Then healthcare, service sector, IT services, tourism, all these are service sector. So we have the features of primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. So next we move on to these three sectors. So broadly divided, any economy divided into three sectors. Primary sector mostly depend upon the natural resources. So they use whatever the nature has provided. So natural resources, land, water, forest, minerals, everything naturally available resources extracted under the primary sector. So primary sector, the sector that involves extraction and use of natural resources, mostly directly taking from the nature. Then secondary sector, manufacturing sector. So which sector converts a raw material into a finished goods, that can be called as a secondary sector. Secondary sector also known as industrial sector or manufacturing sector. Now coming to third part, that is tertiary sector. Tertiary sector is also called as service sector. So this tertiary sector provides services to the people and the businesses. For example, banking and transport. Then we have education, healthcare, tourism. Everything comes under the tertiary sector. Next, move on to primary sector. Primary sector, I told you, primary sector that involves the extraction and use of natural resources from the nature. And coming under the primary sector, we have agriculture is the primary sector, fishing is the primary sector, forestry is the primary sector, then mining is the primary sector. So we can see that. So these products are directly obtained from the nature. So obtained from the nature, so forest nature, so all these things coming under nature only. So this is primary sector. Next we move on to the secondary sector. From today's class we are going to discuss about the more specifically focusing on the secondary sector. So first you should know what is economy. What is economy, Anna? Economy is a system in which people produce goods and distribute the goods and services. We can say economy is a system of production, distribution, and exchange and consumption of the goods and services to satisfy the human needs, called economy. So economy, what is economic activity? Different activities performed by human being to earn the income, to get the livelihood. So we have farming is one of the economic activity. Okay, manufacturing is one of the economic activity. Services is one of the economic activity. Okay, trading is one of the economic activities I will discuss. So economy has divided into three sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. So already we discussed primary related to agriculture and allied sector. Secondary sector is nothing but manufacturing sector. And now we are discussing about the secondary sector in more greater detail. So if you look at the secondary sector, activities that convert raw material into finished good. activities that converts raw material into a finished good is called secondary sector. So we all know what is primary sector. Primary means it is the people first hand, they are getting primary first. Earlier days, human being used to hunt, involving hunting and gathering and collecting fruits and nuts and seeds from the nature. So it is the primary activity, first activity of the human being. Today also, if you go to villages, most of the people are engaging agriculture activity. So which is the first, from where the people are getting food, it is the agriculture and allied sector like apiculture, honeybee production, sericulture, silk production. So we have aquaculture, no fish production. So we have different sector. Okay, then we have dairy farming, milk production, etc. Then coming to secondary sector, so the secondary sector converts the raw material obtained from the primary sector and converting into a finished product. So what are the secondary sector? Manufacturing, one of the secondary sector, converting. Then suppose I will give the example of cotton afterwards. Then construction, one of the secondary sector activity. Food processing, one of the secondary sector activities. Then textile industry, one of the secondary sector activities. So what are the features now? Which manufactures the goods. So this secondary sector which manufactures the goods from the primary sector. So primary sector is giving the raw material, producing the raw material, and this raw material is converting into a finished product through industries, through the industrial process. So if you look at this cotton cloth, so here cotton is the raw material. From who is producing cotton is the farmer. Farmer through the cultivation process is producing the cotton. So cotton is coming. Cotton is grown in the fields. So this is done by whom? Farmers. So in the month of June or July, farmer will sow the seeds of the cotton. In the month of October or November, so farmer harvest the cotton. After harvesting, see, this is the cotton picking. It is the farmer, lady farmer. Cotton is picked from the plants. So it's called picking. So this is growing. This is called picking from cotton balls. Then after this, there is a process called ginning. What is that? Ginning. Ginning is the third process where the seeds are separated from the cotton fibers. So seeds. So cotton ball has the seeds. So it must be separated. So seeds and cotton fibers are separated. That process is called ginning mill. Okay. Then what is the fourth? Spinning from this cotton fiber. So they will make spun into yarn, like making a spindle fiber. So this is the spun. This is the yarn. Converting into yarn, spun. Fibers are connected into yarn. Yarn means what we can say, yarn means you can see in the tailoring shop now that so stitching that and this is called spinning and this is called yarn. Then after the fifth one is called weaving. So yarn is woven into a fabric like clothes. So they are making, so this small spindle fiber or yarn converting into a cloth through the weaving process. Weaving means making a cloth by the industry or workers. Then finally finished cloth. So the cloth is ready for use in marketing clothes. So here what I am saying is that it is nothing but a manufacturing sector. Secondary sector is a manufacturing sector where we are getting raw material, that is cotton, from the farmers. So farmers are growing cotton, so which comes under the primary sector, finally plucked by the workers and finally going to the ginning. From here the manufacturing process started. So till here is the primary sector. And here onwards industrial sector, the manufacturing sector started. So separation of seeds from the cotton fiber, then spinning into a small thread that became a yarn. Then after that we have weaving. So all thread became converting into a weaving and making a sari or dupatta, whatever it may be, or a shirt or pant, whatever it may be. Then after that they will add some color. Dyeing process will be there. That is called dyeing. After this dyeing and there will be a weaving process. So all thread initially in white color. After adding color different colors, then finally finished goods is coming. So cotton is a natural fiber and processed in the mills and factories and used to make clothes and many other products, and finally support the farmers, workers and industries. So this is comes under the manufacturing sector. So with simple example like wheat also. Wheat is produced by the farmers, the wheat is converting into a wheat flour through the mill process, and that wheat flour is converted into a bakery products like bakery bun, something like that. Then finally it consumed by the consumers. So this is also finally produced by the farmers, converted by the secondary sector, and finally consumed by the human being. So I told you economy. Economy is a system in which people producing goods and services. Here different people are involving in this. People are producing goods. What is the goods here? Cotton is the goods. So in this way you can understand very easily. Next, we moving on to the next slide, which deals about the tertiary sector. Now, so far we have discussed the primary sector and secondary sector. Now we move on to the tertiary sector. What is that? Tertiary sector. So if you see that tertiary sector provides services. So tertiary sector is nothing but, I told you, service sector, which providing services to the people. So who are the people who are providing services to the people? So they are teacher. Teacher is providing services to the student. So they are teaching. Okay, they are providing knowledge, they are providing skills, they are providing value to the children. So this comes under the services sector. So more, you are going to the school for what purpose? To get the education. What is education? Education nothing but acquiring knowledge, acquiring skills, acquiring values. This is called education, right? So you are getting services, you are getting education services in the schools, colleges and universities and other educational institutions. So teachers are the one of the example of services. Doctors providing services to you at the time of falling ill, if you are suffering with fever, if you are suffering with any ailments, you will go to the hospital for treatment. So who is providing services to you? It is a doctor. Nothing but a hospital, healthcare services. So then shopkeeper, suppose you want any goods like eggs, wheat and any kind of idli rava, whatever it may be, you will go to the shops to buy those things. Tea powder, sugar, whatever it may be, oil, etc., etc. Banking sector, bankers, banking sector. So you are also coming under the service sector. If you want loan, personal loan or house loan, banks will provide the loans, services. Suppose you want to transfer money from to your friend through NIFT or through PhonePe. So there is a linkage between the PhonePe, GPay to the bank and like that. So you are sending money, deposit, loan, rendering money, okay, and ATM services. You are availing ATM services, etc. Bank. Then transport service workers. So all these services coming under the service sector. Service sector is nothing but providing services to the people. Okay, but here the service sector is not producing goods, not producing goods. So primary sector and secondary sector produce the goods, but it is the tertiary sector which provide only services. So what we can say is service sector, tertiary sector is nothing but service sector which provides services rather than goods. So now what are the services now? Banking, I told you, one of the services. Then transport, one of the services. You are going to railways. Suppose you want to go to Hyderabad to Delhi. How you are going, Nana? So there are different ways. So you can go by through roadways, you can go by railways, you can go by airways, you can go by flight also. So therefore, who is providing services to you? Because transport sector. Then education sector. Again, I told you previously. So you are studying in the schools, you are studying in the colleges, you are studying in the universities. What purpose? Education. Is education. Who is providing education service? Education institution. But in the education institution, who are the teachers? So teaching is one of the service sector, one of the component of service sector. Then healthcare services, hospital, I told you, information technology, software industry, hardware industry, all these are coming under this information technology. The best example, when a wheat is grown by a farmer, who is producing wheat? A farmer. So this comes under which sector? Primary sector, and turned into a bread in bakery. Bakery again. So converting wheat flour into a bakery through which sector? On a secondary sector, and sold in a supermarket or delivered by a delivery boy, delivery services comes under which sector? On a tertiary sector, and each stage belongs to different sectors of the economy. So what is sector? On a group of economic activities having a similar characteristic features. That is called sector. So here how many sectors we are involving? Primary sector, agriculture, wheat is coming. Secondary sector, wheat flour is making into a bread. Then manufacturing, that's called manufacturing. Then we are moving into this bread is delivered to shoppers or shopkeepers by one of the delivery agent. Finally consumed by human being, you and me. This is called tertiary sector or service sector. Next, if you look at this example of this through this, if you see this, we'll be having, see, tertiary sector, service people, serving the people, enhancing life. So they are serving you to improve your life standard, to improve your standard of living. Suppose electrical services, service sector only, they are providing electrical services, AC, air conditioning, they are providing services to you. Okay, so the tertiary sector includes services that help people. They are helping people. Education, I told you, service sector. They are helping you. They are infusing you. They are diffusing knowledge to you to become a good citizen, and you become a employed person or self-employed person or knowledgeable person. So, example, banking services. If you take the banking services, the best example. So, we have different banks. State Bank of India, ICICI, Punjab National Banks. We have different set of banks. So here the bank will take people deposit money. Here people depositing money in the way customer deposit money in the bank for safekeeping. Suppose you are yourself, your father has having 20 lakh rupees. So if you keep in the home, it is very difficult because there is a threat of thief. Maybe someone is snatching that money or they take away the money. So here, what is the safe place for us to keep the money in the bank? So banks, so customer, you and me are customer, will go to the bank to deposit the money. Let us say we have deposited 20,000 rupees. Then banks manages the money and keep record. So while taking the money, bank you need to write one receipt. So your name, your account number, and how much amount of money you are saving in the bank. That is called saving account. So we have current account and saving account. That is different. So saving account. So bank will maintain the transaction of records, everything. Then bank provide loans to people. What is the third activities of the bank, Nana? Bank will provide the loan department. So there is a management loan department is there. It will take care of the providing loans, rendering loans to the housing loan, personal loan, car loan. Okay, different loans are there. So bank provide loans to people for business purposes. So you want to expand the business. So then education purposes. You want to pursue the higher education abroad. So education services, home loans. And then we have vehicle loans, car loans, bus loan, etc. etc. So next services, bank also provide different services, mobile banking. So we are bank offer many services like ATM, automated teller machine, ATM services. Whenever you want money, you will go to the ATM, put the ATM card, and you will withdraw the money. So the ATM services, internet banking. Suppose you want to send some money to the for different your friend through the phone pay or GPay. So these services provided with the banks only. There is interconnection. Then fund transfer, you can transfer the fund, bill payment, you can pay the electricity bill, internet bill, any different type of bills. Then banking support economic growth and improving the life of the people. In this way, banks are banks are playing a vital role in terms of giving money to the people, rendering loans to people. In this way, banks are support economic growth and improve the lives of the people. So these are the different economic service activities. So banking is one of the services coming under the service sector. Then importance of this tertiary sector. Why you want? What is the importance of tertiary sector among the primary, secondary, and tertiary sector? Why is the tertiary sector playing an important role? Because creates employment opportunity. Which is creating employment opportunity. If you go back to 30-40 years back in India, so Indian economy is mostly confined to the primary and secondary sector only. But after that, after the liberalization, privatization, and globalization, so what happened, Nana? So there is a boom of, so tertiary sector is booming, means mushrooming, it's growing like anything, and support economic development. Tertiary sector also support economic development, encourages innovation and technology. So there is a lot of innovation and technology taking place in the service sector, improves quality of life. So then provides various services for our needs. Services including tertiary sector, transport, education, healthcare, retail, wholesale market, then tourism, hospitality, communication. We have mobile phone, Airtel, then we have Jio, everything come under Tata, even direct DTH, direct to home service, direct to home services. So we have so many things: communication, insurance, retail, trade, and information technology. All are coming under the service sector. So in developed economy, service sector is providing more employment and contributing to output of the country's economy. But whereas in India now, service sector is providing more contribution to India's GDP, almost 57%. But coming to the employment, which is providing just 32%. So output wise, service sector is giving more, but in terms of creating employment, service sector is somehow there it's in 32%, but it is the primary sector which is producing more employment to the people rather than contributing to India's GDP. Just primary sector contributing 17% to India's GDP, but whereas in the employment, is the primary sector contributing almost 45%. So we will discuss everything in the next video, but I'm just giving you this. So just remember, primary sector. So economy is divided. What is economy, Nana? Economy is a system in which people produce the goods, distribute the goods and services. So first one is economy is a system in which people produce the goods, distribute the goods, and consumption. Consumption will take place with the consumers. So that is, then this economy has divided into how many sectors? 3 sectors: primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. Primary related to natural resources. Then secondary is manufacturing, converting raw material into finished good. Tertiary sector is about providing services to the people. So this thing you have to remember. After that we will discuss other topic in our coming video. Thank you all for giving this opportunity.